Have you ever sat in your car at night and wondered if anyone would notice if you disappeared? Have you ever scrolled through hundreds of names and still felt like you had no one to call? In a small American town, under the yellow lights of a grocery store parking lot, a man named Ethan felt exactly that. He had a job, an apartment, and a phone full of contacts, but his heart felt completely empty. Friends had moved away, a relationship had ended, and family lived states away. On that cold evening, the quiet inside his car felt heavier than the traffic outside. He stared at the steering wheel and whispered, "God, if you're there, I need a reason to stay." Just then, a shopping cart bumped lightly into the front of his car. He looked up, annoyed at first, and saw a teenage boy awkwardly trying to control 3 carts at once. The boy mouthed sorry with an embarrassed smile, his hands red from the cold. Ethan stepped out, more to escape his thoughts than to help, but his feet moved anyway. "Need a hand?" he asked, his voice rough from disuse. The boy nodded gratefully, and together they pushed the carts back toward the store. On the way, the boy laughed and said, "Man, tonight's been rough. People are so angry." Ethan felt something shift. For the first time that day, he wasn't alone in his struggle. When they finished, the boy said, "Thanks, dude. I really needed that," and hurried back inside. Ethan froze, realizing he had just given someone else what he was begging for himself: help, even for a moment. As Ethan turned to leave, he noticed an elderly man leaning on a cane, staring at a flat tire. The man's hands trembled as he tried to dial a number on his phone. Something inside Ethan pushed him forward before his fear could pull him back. "Sir, do you need help?" he asked, heart beating fast, not from danger, but from finally stepping out of his own darkness. The old man sighed in relief. "I was praying someone would pass by," he said with a tired smile. Ethan knelt down, his jeans scraping the cold pavement, and began to change the tire. The old man talked as they worked, about losing his wife, living alone, and how the evenings were the hardest. Ethan listened, realizing their stories were different, but their loneliness felt the same. When the tire was fixed, the old man placed a shaky hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Son," he said, "God must still have plans for you, because He sent you to me tonight." The words hit Ethan deeper than the cold wind ever could. Ethan walked back into the store, not for groceries, but because for the first time in months, he didn't want to go home yet. He wandered the aisles, hands in his pockets, staring at shelves he didn't need. In the cereal aisle, a little girl dropped a box and burst into tears as it spilled across the floor. Her young mother looked exhausted, one baby on her hip, apology already in her eyes. Ethan knelt down, picked up the box, and gently said, "Hey, it's okay. Accidents happen." He helped gather the cereal, joking softly, "Guess this one was too excited to stay in the box." The girl sniffled, then giggled. The mother smiled, eyes glistening with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. "It's been a really hard day." Ethan nodded, understanding more than she knew. "Yeah," he said quietly. "Me too." As he walked away, he realized each person he'd met carried a weight no one could see from the outside. Outside again, Ethan sat back in his car, but the silence felt different now.
The parking lot was the same. The night was the same. But his heart was not.
He thought about the boy with the carts, the man with the cane, the tired mother, the crying child.
Suddenly, he understood. God had not answered his prayer with a loud voice, but with people who needed him.
He whispered, "Were you here this whole time?" In the quiet, he felt no thunder, no miracle, just a gentle, steady peace, like a hand on his shoulder.
He started the car, not to run from his pain, but to drive home with a purpose he hadn't felt in years.
Loneliness still sat beside him. But now, it was not an enemy. It was a reminder. A reminder that as long as he could give love, as long as he could help, his life still mattered. And maybe the reason God kept him here was simple. There were still parking lots full of people who needed a quiet miracle. So if you feel lonely today, remember, this season is not empty. It's where your light is learning how to shine.